So look, I just thought it's a great opportunity for me to be here. I mean, recently transitioned about 3 weeks ago now from New Zealand straight to Australia. Was welcomed back with COVID. Now feel better and right into it. So it's great to be home. I'm based out of Melbourne. And as Grant said, the tie and the connection to our New Zealand business has been absolutely sensational over a period of 7 years. So look, I just thought I'd cover a few slides today that'll give you some insights as to what the utilities business is about in Australia. You know, we have a balanced portfolio across power, water, gas, telco, your obvious standard utilities. We include renewable energies, the emerging sector, as you've heard quite clearly today, and we'll touch on some cases across that shortly. But if we look at the last sort of period, we've come out of a transition of a big build for NBN, a once-in-a-generation build, arguably. And, you know, what's next? Well, what's next has been a fantastic take-up of services, new connections, maintenance, optimisation, and still a considerable amount of program work taking place and being presented to the market. We're offering unique, and that's in the telco or technology and communication space, and in the water space, not too dissimilar, a lot of presence in that space right now. And we'll touch on the gasification, which Ricky mentioned a little bit earlier, but also the elements of services that we provide right across the water business. So the innovative solutions that we provide across the board, you know, the IP, we've touched on the design that Mark's just covered. We do a lot of engineering and design, and that'll show through some of the cases, the business cases that we've put up here, but also in our normal operations as a point of difference and expertise within the actual utilities division. Keeping in mind, regulated industries, certified resources, qualified, and well-versed in what we do in that space. It's a really critical space for all the reasons that we would understand. We're well positioned to capitalise on the market. You heard Grant talk earlier about our compounded annual growth rate of about 5.3%. So that tells us we're in that space. But also, more importantly, not just to the external market, but a one-downer presence if we look at right across the business. And one of my focus areas and objectives is certainly to leverage that one-downer. Having formed utilities in the New Zealand business, leading the utilities business in Australia gives us a great opportunity to leverage that capability, the IP, the technical fraternity and community right across the board. The opportunities are interestingly increasing through the relationships that are existing from the businesses you've just heard about, where value-add proposition does create a point of difference for us right across the board. So that's certainly a key area of focus. And if you look at the infographics, basically, you know, our clients, long-term relationships, generally we've been servicing them for a long time. They're an important part of our existence, and we're an important part of theirs. We support many thousands of families right across the group, which is absolutely paramount to us, and they're all extremely valuable in ensuring that we deliver services with a value-add proposition to our clients. So if we look at our revenue, utilities business in Australia, 1.3 billion. Couple that with the New Zealand business, you're now starting to get to, for the utility space in New Zealand, you're now getting close to $2 billion of revenue annually. So when we put up the number one, we say it with facts, and we certainly have growth opportunities sitting in that space as well. Our pipeline, there is a slight shift into the water space, is growing right now, and you can see, you know, 49% work in hand is sitting in the water space, but opportunities are still presenting right across all the utility sectors. And the renewable space, working closely and aligning with our businesses. One of the areas of focus for us is now starting to develop, you know, we talk about renewables, we talk about decarbonisation, but now starting to look within the downer business, whether it's Keolis downer, and understanding how can we build the infrastructure that supports their buses, whether that's through charging stations and the like. We've also got the opportunity to look at our buildings and our facilities right across the board, and we're working closely with rail, and we're working closely with the other parts of the business to see where we can add value in that space and bring some of that point of difference that we've got and demonstrating for clients out there in the open market. And the general services, you know, 1 million electrical assets inspected. What does that mean? It means that we're out there in a big way doing a lot of work that is really important. But I want to cover the 2 national industry awards that we've received. And I think these people, it's nice to recognise where people really step up. And Michelle Oberg was a Best Individual Contribution. She runs a human operational performance program for the utilities business and has been recognised by Logan Water. So congratulations to her. And also Chris Hatzistavru, right, who Multinet Gas Chairman's Award in Victoria for his contribution to a zero harm culture. So shout out to those people. Look, the numbers are straight there. I'm not going to talk about every little aspect of it, but there is a lot of activity, a lot of moving parts, and a lot of good things happening in the business. The business is in a really good position, and I'm really excited about working closely with it and really complementing the good work that's already been undertaken. So as you've seen, again, pretty self-explanatory. The areas that we're looking and we currently operate in and will continue to operate in and flex and leverage with my colleagues and their businesses to get the best out of our service offerings, our construction offerings and our engineering offerings to our clients are right across the standard sectors of utilities. So really important we acknowledge that and the emerging technologies that present with it. So this slide's really just to give an indication of, what's our national footprint. If I put the New Zealand footprint there as well, for the utility space, we're right across, well spread across both countries. So it's a good, diverse business, presence across all states, territories, and also New Zealand. So that's complementary of all the good work that's been undertaken over many years and the relationships we've held with our clients. A lot of these contracts aren't 5-minute exercises. We work with a relationship, we work with clients, we're part of a strategy, and we deliver services and projects for a long time. So, and obviously the list of clients there you can see, and New Zealand's not too dissimilar. They're the tier 1 clients of the country and play a significant role in every aspect from social to economical and alike within those countries and within the countries and territories and states. So look, the case studies that I thought I'd just really touch on today was especially to the decarbonisation elements, but the team had looked at renewable energy in Queensland. It was 600 schools, the project. It was really where we went out there, talked to every particular school, understood their needs and developed a solution. And developed that solution from a design perspective and then delivered and installed and implemented whatever that solution was. And that program ran across a number of phases. It's obviously referred to Advancing Clean Energy Schools. What's been interesting is, as part of that process and to educate our youth, there's some technology that's been applied where the actual school children can actually see the power being generated through the cells and actually start to understand how electricity is being utilised right across the group. So it's quite educational sort of process and quite good. The fact is we've saved our clients there a significant amount of money on energy use, which is quite important. We've installed over 81,000 solar panels just in the space of schools, and we're looking at what other opportunities, for example, LED lighting, and see what other things we can do with the government and some of the programs that exist or will be existing in the near future. So this particular project ran over a number of phases, and obviously due to delivery, and originally there was 3 providers, now it's been reduced to 2, so we're continually taking up additional work in that space, and equally as important, we're having a lot more input as to what goes on. So it's really good because clients or schools, if we refer to them as customers or clients, are now changing their needs. They're expanding their assets and they need further work to upgrade or add further technology or so forth to their, whether it's through batteries or anything else through those facilities. So quite an exciting project, the one that's been delivered extremely well across the group. And just on the last one, so you heard Ricky talk about it. Now, I'm not the subject matter expert on this, but I'll certainly convey some of the information that I've learnt and read over the last sort of few weeks. But effectively, biosolids, as Ricky talked about, produced right across every wastewater treatment plant. It's not complicated to understand that. This new technology, which Down has been a part of for over 5 years developing this, with partners being Logan Water and certainly Pyrocal as well. So specific gasification partner there, and obviously a client to enable us to get involved in that process, and some serious engineering capability, process engineering and that from the Downer team. The technology now allows that biosolids to be basically dried out, not shipped. So currently what happens is, say for example, for that wastewater treatment plant services 300,000 households. 90 tonnes a day of waste product gets shipped out of that location 300 kilometres away to get disposed of or dried out, which is not good. We can all understand the logic of that. This process has enabled that product to now be dried out through a process engineering perspective, an upgrade to the plant, and then that it basically forms a biochar, another product that can be used as energy, and the remainder of that product is actually a conditioner for soil. So you can see it's basically a net zero aspect out of that technology that's been applied right across, and we see a big future for it. And there's now a lot of interest in these particular plants, and there's a lot of clients or other customers or potential interested parties now visiting this particular site to understand more about the technology. And no doubt we'll want to expand that further into the New Zealand business as well, and the New Zealand clientele that we service there as well. So this is a great opportunity, and it'll account for about 70% or so of the actual energy through the biogas that it produces. And the other 30%, part of this project, required a 1,000-panel installation of solar to support that. So that's when I say it's a net zero type facility now. It supports itself through its energy consumption, environmentally friendly, reduces, a lot of trips going 300 kilometres a day to offload product, and just and basically creates a new avenue for what, innovation, technology and sustainability coming together, or the ESG elements of some of that all coming together for a common goal. And it's quite exciting from that space to know we've been in that arena for the last 5 years, working closely with our two partners, and it gives us rights basically to that IP to start liaising with a number of other clients that we have right across our portfolio. So some stats around it: reduces CO2 output by 4,800 tonnes per annum. It's quite significant. It reduces the disposal of biosolids. Bioenergy from waste reduces energy input. So again, the obvious things that we've been covering off, and technology is relatively simple, and we can retrofit any wastewater treatment plant basically with this technology. So it provides an avenue for us to continue to be able to work on that. So look, that's just a quick-fired way of just a bit of an update for the business, the key focus areas for us going forward. If I look at it, I have the honour of leading this division, and I'm extremely excited about it. The team, we support 3,500 families. At our external partners, it's probably closer to 6,000. Does a lot of great work, and need to acknowledge the efforts getting through all these challenging periods like everyone else. We've got, we're quite passionate about what we do, and we're quite excited about the opportunities that present. So my job is to enable a lot of those elements. Will be, what you heard from Peter Tompkins, whether it's projects, whether it's governance. These are all enablers for our business that we're embracing and we're working through at a rapid pace, and will continue to evolve as a business. So thank you.